in the hills where the grass kissed the sky and the wind sang lullabies to the trees, lived a quiet boy named Eli. He was 11 years old, curious, and full of dreams that stretched far beyond the rolling meadows of his village. Each day after finishing his chores, Eli would climb the tallest hill and lie on his back, gazing at the drifting clouds above. "I wish I could ride one," he would whisper to himself, imagining a kingdom of castles made of mist and stars. One morning, after a night of unusually loud winds, Eli spotted something strange near the edge of the cliffside pasture. It looked like a sheep, but not like any sheep he'd ever seen. Its wool shimmered like silver fog, and instead of hooves, it had soft, cloud-like tufts. Most incredible of all were the wide, feathered wings folded on its back. Eli rubbed his eyes. The creature blinked at him with calm, golden eyes. "You're not just any sheep, are you?" Eli whispered, stepping forward. The creature bleated softly and lowered its head, allowing Eli to touch its nose. The moment his fingers brushed its wool, the sheep's wings opened wide. With a gentle puff of air, the creature crouched. Eli hesitated just for a heartbeat and climbed onto its back. The world shifted. With a leap, the flying sheep soared into the sky, cutting through the clouds like a comet. Eli clung to its wool as wind rushed past his ears, and the earth below became a blur of green and brown. Higher and higher they rose, past hawks and eagles, past thick layers of clouds glowing gold in the morning sun. And then, suddenly they broke through a final veil of mist and emerged into a realm unlike anything Eli had ever imagined. The Sky Kingdom. Floating islands drifted gently in the air, each one covered in lush gardens, waterfalls that poured into rainbows, and towers made from crystal-like vapor. Strange creatures glided through the air: ski fish, feathered foxes, even butterflies the size of cats. Above it all, a massive palace made entirely of silver clouds sparkled in the sunlight, surrounded by gentle breezes like guards at their posts. The sheep landed softly on one of the floating aisles. Eli slid off, awestruck. "Welcome, Cloud Rider," said a voice. Eli turned to see a tall woman with long, flowing hair made of mist. She wore robes that shimmered like morning dew and had eyes like a storm just before it breaks. I'm just Eli," he said, stepping back. She smiled. "You were chosen. Only those with a pure heart and dreaming spirit can see the sky sheep. Fewer still are brave enough to ride." Eli's cheeks turned red. "Where am I?" "This is Aethriathi, Kingdom of the Skies, hidden from the earthbound for centuries. And you, Eli, have been invited to help us." "Help with what?" The woman looked toward the horizon, where a dark storm cloud churned and twisted, blotting out the sun. The balance between sky and land is shifting. The wind no longer sings freely. Storms grow wild and angry. We need a heart that still believes in wonder to restore it. Eli didn't fully understand, but his heart did. He nodded. "Come," she said. "Let me show you." For hours, sir, perhaps days. Time passed differently here, Eli learned from the Sky Guardians. He soared across the islands on the flying sheep, met wind whisperers who tamed breezes with songs, and helped cloud weavers repair holes torn by the storm. With every kind act, every moment of belief, the darkness faded bit by bit. But the storm was not finished. One evening, as Eli watched the sunset from a floating ledge, the darkness surged. The sky shook, and lightning ripped through the air. The Queen of Mist appeared beside him. "It's time." Eli turned to the sheep, who knelt once more. He climbed on. "This is the heart of the storm," the Queen whispered. "Only your belief can reach it." They flew into the storm. Wind screamed. Rain stung. Clouds turned to claws. But Eli held on. "I believe in peace. I believe in wonder. I believe in light," he shouted into the swirling dark. And something answered. From within the storm, a great glowing heart pulsate, a swirling orb of light. Eli reached out in the sheep. Glowing too now, flew straight into it. Boom! A burst of silence. Then, sunlight poured through. The storm unraveled, thread by thread, leaving behind gentle rain and warm air. The sky sang again. Eli awoke the next morning on the same hilltop he had always dreamed from. The sheep was gone. The sky was blue, but in his hand, a single silver feather. He smiled. From that day on, every time the wind blew gently through his village, every time the clouds shaped themselves into castles, Eli knew Aethria still watched him. And when the world below felt heavy, he would whisper to the sky, "I believe." Because he was the Cloud Rider, and the sky had not forgotten. The end.